I come before you to urge this board to abstain from participating in the redefinement of marriage. From your board's own website, it says that it is the, quote, it is the board's responsibility to enact ordinances, resolutions, and orders necessary for governing the affairs of the county. Directing any county department or county personnel to conduct same-sex marriage ceremonies is not necessary to the governing of the affairs of this county. Ann Barnett has been criticized publicly by at least one member of this board as allowing her personal beliefs to improperly dictate policy. To the contrary, Ms. Barnett is merely reflecting the views of the majority of the citizens who elected her to office. If this board directs another county department to perform same-sex marriages, it would be this board, in opposition to the majority of those who elected you to office, who would be interjecting your personal beliefs into this matter. Local and national statistics bear this out. As has been stated, when they were given the opportunity, 80% cast their votes in favor of defining marriage as the union of one man and one woman. A 2005 poll by the National Fatherhood Initiative found that 89% of Americans believe that it is better for a child to be raised in a family that has a married mother and father, and 97% fathers are as important as mothers in the proper development of children. Same-sex marriage is not a broadening of marriage, it is a diluting. This board needs to consider the case of the Netherlands, the first country to legalize same-sex marriages in the year 2000. Since the campaign to make same-sex marriage legal in the Netherlands, which began in the 90s, this effect on all marriage has been staggering. A country that once had a low out-of-wedlock birth rate saw 40% of firstborn children born out of wedlock in 2004. The reason for this was simple. In 1992, 68% of Dutch men and women said that marriage mattered to them, but by 2005, this had dropped to 45%. What took place in the Netherlands during this time frame was the legalization of same-sex partnerships and then same-sex weddings. 4 California Supreme Justices have decided to base their decision on a prior ruling from 1947, which said that people should be free to marry whom they want. However, the current court did not even recognize that in 1947, polygamy, marriage to near relatives, or same-sex marriage was not in the minds of the 1947 court. However, by using the 1947 standard to legalize same-sex marriage, the current court has opened the door for all marriages. This board should not do the same by directing county staff to perform same-sex marriage ceremonies. This board should stay out of a matter that is not necessary to the governments of this county. Thank you.
I do not have a prepared speech to come before you, but I do have a prepared heart to express my concern over what is transpiring in this community at this juncture. It goes beyond our opinions. It goes beyond our feelings. It goes into the very realm of the foundations upon which this nation was based, which is government for the people, by the people. And I am here to say that the will of the people of California has been declared. We voted in Proposition 22, and how one governmental sector can overturn that without any input from the people who voted in this resolution is beyond me. And it sets a dangerous precedence to the democratic process in this nation. We are at that juncture, and I urge you to hear what Mr. Thomason brought, the ordinance that has been brought before you, that the will of the people of Bakersfield can be made known once and for all as part of our democratic rights and privileges. I beg you to take this into consideration as you deliberate and hear what the people are saying.
Back when Prop 22 was coming about, I was part of the campaign to support it, and went door to door, knocked on doors, talked to people, did all of that. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life to support that proposition. It discriminated against a huge segment of our society. The state legislature has passed same-sex marriage a couple times, and the governor's vetoed it, saying he wants the courts to decide, and the courts have decided. Miss Ann Barnett seems to think that she works in an ice cream shop where she can pick out what flavors she likes and what flavors she doesn't like. There's a precedent set in that office already of them doing civil marriages. it's obvious her decision not to do those anymore is based on her opinion, her religious opinion of same-sex couples. I have delivered a letter to her last week asking her to resign. I asked the Board of Supervisors to pass a resolution either in support of her or against her. That's what my request is. You tell us what all of you feel about this situation, support her or go against her, so we know where we stand. Granted, her decision to do this is going to open up the legal floodgates against that office, which will be expensive to our county. Budgets are tight. Do the most cost-effective thing. Thank you.
It's been a long couple of weeks since the state Supreme Court ruled that marriage is a fundamental civil right and that gay and lesbian couples could finally share in that right. It seems simple, and yet it has been so difficult. It is a shame that this issue is being framed as some kind of fight or war. It doesn't have to be that way. Nearly 50 years ago, John Kennedy wrote a Pulitzer Prize-winning book called Profiles in Courage, in which he described amazing acts of political courage. He profiled great senators who went out on a limb to stand up for what they thought was right, even when it cost them personally or politically. They never sacrificed their moral authority for what was popular or easy. I wonder, as you consider your options with regard to the gay community in Kern County, would Kennedy have included your names among those whose integrity was never sacrificed in the name of political expediency? The eyes of history in this nation will be watching you, and your legacy can be one of acceptance and true leadership, and I hope that it would be. Please create an inclusive county where people are not deprived of their rights. At this point, we're drawing national attention as a community of intolerance, and this is an embarrassment. In ending, I'd like you to think back to the time of the excitement and joy that you felt in marrying what was hopefully going to be your life partner. And we want to experience that happiness too. There are couples in our community who have been together 25, 20, 15, 10 years, who have demonstrated their commitment and their love to each other, and they deserve the right to marry. Thank you.